And he had a checkup there, and she had OD. And so we were sitting on my front porch, the whole neighborhood. We're just sitting on my front porch watching the whole thing go down. And then I messaged Jennifer. I'm like, you might want to get down.
And then they have some
Yeah.
Yeah. Dark sides, no, they can do that.
All rise for the pledge of allegiance.
Maybe you're still belly button.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I call the May the 4th Abingdon City Council meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Alderman Harrison?
Here.
Alderman Hendricks? Alderman Allen?
Here.
Alderman Dow?
Here.
Alderman Swearingen?
Here.
Alderman Thomas?
Here.
Alderman Brooks?
Here.
Alderman Thompson?
Here.
Jerry Johnson?
Here.
Jerry Jack Paul?
Here.
Engineer Neil Smith?
Here.
Engineer Susan Chip?
Thank you for that. Thank you for coming this evening. A couple of quick things for, oh, wait a minute. Let's do the minutes. Everybody had a chance to look at the minutes of the previous meeting. There are no changes. Make a motion to accept them as written.
I make a motion we accept the minutes as read. I second.
Motion has been made and seconded to accept the minutes of the previous council meeting. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, now we'll get to some opening remarks. I had a couple of calls about the wrap around the chain link fence at the grade school. I wanted to bring it to everybody's attention. From what I understand, since it was an existing chain link, I don't know that they're in any kind of a violation that I'm aware of. Does not mean it's not unsafe. So I had been asked to get some input from the council to see, I mean, it was explained to me the reason why they did it. There was some interesting characters parked nearby gawking at the kids, I guess. So they, for the security purposes, put that curtain up around the fence. Me personally, I'm all for the kids and the safety of the kids. However, it is on a two pretty darn busy intersections. So
I was gonna bring that up in new business, Mayor.
new business. Okay, we'll put it under new business then.
Okay.
That'll be number 2. I also was asked about maybe putting some crosswalk type lines over by the high school. I guess one of the residents that lives over there was actually, they were questioning about jaywalking across the intersection right there where the old auction house is, right straight across there. There are no lines there. You know, a lot of kids, a lot of people walk over there. I just bring it up, maybe go to streets on that, just see if there's something that maybe we could draw some lines in there. I'm not saying make it a crosswalk, but whatever you guys decide to do. But I was asked to bring that up for discussion because the person that called me was very upset. Had a discussion with county deputy, and it was explained that that was jaywalking.
Weren't there at one point in time crosswalk lines? I thought.
I don't know.
No.
We talking on the highway?
No,
We're
on Martin
talking
Street.
On Martin,
Martin Street.
right there, be the northeast corner where the old auction
Tracking.
building used to be
Oh,
right
I
there.
thought they were.
So maybe we'll just, I don't know, we can maybe give it to streets and let them just have a discussion about it and see if there's any action there.
There should be crosswalks going across Pennsylvania too.
There will
Okay, where are we talking about specifically?
In the northeast corner with the football Martin Street.
And South
one
Penn.
runs north and south right there, right over there. I'm sorry.
It's South Penn and then Ohio.
Ohio.
Yeah, Martin and Ohio, and then from Martin and across South Penn.
Tickets were issued, but discussion
Right.
was had, and
Can we check off?
she has my phone number, so I told her I'd bring it up tonight.
Yeah, I thought that there were lines there.
And one more thing for opening remarks, I'm going to make the appointments, first meeting in May. The appointments that we make every year for your consideration. Finance, admin, personnel will be the same. Hendricks, Thomas, Allen, Hendricks being the chair. Water EPC, Allen will be the chair. Swearingen, Thompson on that one. Parks, Thomas will be the chair. Brooks and Thompson on that one. Police liaison will be Ed again. Cemetery, Dowell will be the chair. Harrison and Brooks. Economic development, Thompson will be the chair. Brooks and Harrison on that one as well. We will stick with the same engineering firm, Brewer Cooper Zook, and we will stick with Jack as our city attorney. We will retain Hensley as well as the building inspector. I believe that covers all of the appointments. Just a couple of changes. Everything else is pretty much business as usual. Any discussion? You guys
Comes
have
up on
to,
the mayor's
you
recommendation.
guys have
Oh,
So unless there's discussion, Star, if you'll just call the roll.
roll call, please.
Nobody needs to make the motion.
It's not a motion,
Okay,
it just
okay.
comes up on the mayor's recommendation.
Okay, Alderman Brooks,
Yes.
Alderman Thompson,
Yes.
Alderman Harrison.
Yeah.
Alderman Hendricks. Alderman Allen,
Aye.
Alderman Dow.
Aye.
Alderman Swearingen,
Aye.
Alderman Thomas.
Thank you for that. That concludes the opening remarks. Are there any additions to the agenda?
I have something to old business. I want to discuss the yard waste dump.
Number 9, yard waste dump. Didn't take long. Any other additions
Yes, sir. I need big diamond lights.
under new business or old?
Probably could go under old.
Old, number
Talking
10.
about them.
Any other additions?
Time cards?
Time cards?
Yep.
Old business?
No.
Time cards.
Last meeting you said it wasn't allowed in that.
It should
So
be.
let's make a new one.
It's
New business. Number 3, time cards. Any other additions? Okay, we're going to jump out of order here. We're going to let our visitor regarding the Frontier Verizon agreement. Everybody's had that for a little bit now. Mike is here. He made the trip again for us in case we had any questions. Hopefully everybody had a chance to look at it.
And I can bring this up. Is it Mike?
Yes, sir.
Can I call you Mike?
Yeah.
Okay, Mike. So I'm the attorney for the city. As I reviewed this, the one thing that jumped out at me, everything looks fine except number 9, which is where Frontier can assign the agreement to somebody else or a successor entity only upon notice to the city. So generally speaking, the city would want to know who they're in partnership with. If you turn around and assign the contract to somebody, an entity that they don't have any faith in, then all of a sudden they're subject to what that entity does. So my recommendation would be that read that You may assign the agreement to affiliate or successive entity upon notice to the city and upon the city's consent, which would not be unreasonably withheld. That doesn't allow them to scuttle the assignment altogether. It requires them to have some kind of rationale as to why that assignment would be unreasonable in terms of their relationship with with Frontier.
Okay. We'll agree to that. If you want to put send it back for the mayor's signature if it gets approved.
With that, it looks okay to me.
Is everybody else okay with that?
And then we're responsible for any damages, any restoration. Call me and I'll introduce you. We'll do a walkthrough with our construction crew too prior to starting.
Okay.
Does the mayor have your email?
Yes.
Okay.
He's
So I'll
tired of
shoot
me
it.
emailing
I'll shoot it to
probably.
you that way.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
If you're okay with that, that one change, then if somebody wanted to make a motion, we can go ahead and get, because I know they're anxious to get
I'll make a
their
motion.
construction started.
There we go. Go on with the plans.
And I'll second.
The motion has been made and seconded, minus the noted change in the item number 9, to approve the agreement with Frontier Verizon and the city of Abingdon to begin their fiber project. Roll call, please.
Alderman Brooks.
Aye.
Alderman Thompson.
Aye.
Alderman Harrison.
Aye.
Alderman Allen.
Aye.
Alderman Dowd.
Aye.
Alderman Swearingen.
Aye.
Alderman Thomas.
Okay,
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
thanks for coming this evening, sir.
Appreciate it.
We'll be in touch very soon. All right, engineers report, Neil?
Thank you, Honorable Mayor and council members. First item of business, the sludge pump job is out to bid. I'll have bids for your next meeting. There's a grant, is it a bond grant is what it's called, that the city received? $75,000.
It's a grant we've been talking about for a couple months now that set the WIRC still. It's for $75,000.
We talked to Josh about it, and it could be applied to that project if you choose to do so. We've got some interest in the bids, and hopefully we get some good bids for you, and I'll bring them back at the next meeting. Your motor fuel tax, everything is approved, but we have to go, since it broke that $25,000 threshold on both rock and oil, has to go out to bid, goes through the IDOT bidding process. We get the bids, we open them on May 20th. We have to wait 10 days, submit them to them, and then they review them and sign them. And then at that point, you can start purchasing the rock or all kinds of rock, CA6, all your pea gravel for your motor fuel tag, your oil and chip work, all that. So if you have local truck drivers that you want to inform these bids are out there, that now would be the time to do so. Your tank inspections, that's something that came up. I used to do it, and I'm not as young as I used to be. We have a company that, and it's actually going to be a major benefit to the city, I believe. This company they do a combination of climbing, they do the outside with drones, and then they do the inside with a submarine, like a remote controlled submarine. Everything that they put inside the tank is disinfected, so all your structures can be left in service and no boil orders or anything after the inspection. They come in and do it, business as usual. It's mandated, it's highly recommended by the EPA every 5 years to get your structures inspected, and you're at that point. So it'd be $6,000 to inspect the 2 of those.
When do we have to approve that?
What's that?
When do we have to approve that?
Well, I'm hoping we can look at it. I forgot that's on new business item number 8. Now you have a little background when we get to that.
In your budget.
No, that's on old business.
It's on old business. number
Yeah,
8,
old
right?
business. So think about it for a couple minutes and we'll talk about it again. I guess one of the major benefits is you have 1.3 million gallons of water sitting here that's all bought from the city of Galesburg. So none of that would be wasted in this situation. We're moving forward on the closeout of the Harshbarger water main project. So we're working, getting the paperwork with WIRC. That's closed out, or it will be. And related to that, here, we were supposed to have it last week, but they canceled the webinar. They're having a webinar to go through the new terms of the next grant cycle that paid for your Harshbarger water main. Very good program, in my opinion. It's usually $1.5 million that's free. The only catch to it is they don't pay engineering dollars. So if you have a project, it has to be shovel ready, has to be permitted, designed, all the stuff, but you can apply for that grant. We'll keep an eye out for that.
Use that on.
Public infrastructure. I think it's mainly they're a scored grant, so you have to provide evidence of health and safety. Like if you have sewer backups into a basement, if you have Harshbarger, we got because we had a bunch of water leaks that there was a repair band about every 30 feet down those 2 roads over there, and the city kept good documentation of when they had repaired it, and so that was good evidence.
Is there a potential for any of that to work with our EPC plant upgrades?
I believe so. It may be a little difficult if you don't have any violations out there. I think your effluent's all good right now. I don't know. I'll have to check on that to see what documentation it would need. In the past, you've done water main replacements, you've done sewer lining, some sewer repairs, replacements. I know we had some problems on Sanitary Road here recently, or Sanitary Street.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, so that one, I think you're looking at maybe televising. Maybe if you find out that you might be able to just line it, might be good enough to line. It might be something where it's in bad enough shape where you start tossing around the idea of replacing that, and that would probably use all that money. It's fairly deep through there. It gets expensive quick. Anyway, just putting the feelers out. Start thinking about what you would like to see if we want to pursue one of those.
Just out of curiosity, the Sanitary Street, isn't that clay and it's crumbling?
Yeah, you've got.
So wouldn't it have to be replaced? It
No.
just meant a mansplanation.
No, you've got a lot of clay pipe in town, and a lot of it's in perfect condition.
Okay.
A lot of it depends on how it was backfilled when it was built, how it's been tied into through the years as new houses have been built. If it was poor plumbing practices where they hooked into it, that'll cause failures.
I wasn't sure on sanitary if that was clay or transite.
It's clay. I don't think
Okay.
they don't use transite for sanitary sewer.
Okay.
It's water, old water main. You have
Okay.
a lot of transite water main in town as well.
When you line it and you come up against a broken tile, will it shove through and keep going?
Yeah, they have heads that they have a robot. It's like a remote control truck. They have a modified Xbox controller in their truck, and they steer this thing. It's got a camera head on it. Another one has a roto zip on it, so they can go through and like where there's a service line, you blow the main line in first and steam it, and it expands it out to the edges of the pipe. And then every place where there's a service, it puts a dimple like on the outside of a golf ball. So they take the little roto zip head and they cut that service back out. But if there's protrusions in there, they have different attachments they can put on, like a jetter head. They did that on Sanitary Road at the railroad tracks. They ate through ductile iron, like all the barnacles that had come into it over the years. They ate through that, so you didn't have to replace it under the tracks. So there's different. When they televise it, that's what we do. We watch the video and see what treatments need to happen to make it where it's lineable, or it might not be lineable. We had a couple places on when we did the big Washington Street job. We did a whole bunch of sewer repairs on the west side of the highway. There was one chunk that when they got into this pipe, I think it was on Cedar Street, they looked up and you could just see a giant void over the top of the pipe. When you see that, you don't want to line it because you don't know how big of a void it is. It may go clear up to the bottom of the pavement. So,
Yeah.
That's my full report.
Okay. Any questions for Neil? Thank you, Neil.
Thank you.
Next, we will move to the attorney's report. Jack?
Thank you, Honorable Mayor. Not to make me look bad, but I don't have anything to report.
Jack, you never look bad. Okay, thank you for that. Next, we will move to the treasurer's report. Susie?
Thank you, Honorable Mayor, and I also have nothing to report.
Nothing to report. Fantastic. Any questions for the treasurer? Thank you. Next, we'll move to the superintendent's report. Jeremy?
Thank you, Mayor, council members. You guys are making the cemetery look really good, mowing and the boulevards. Happy with that. They're doing a good job. The only question I have for you is Tim is done with the Main Street demolition. He asked me the other day if we were seeding that. Grass seed.
Well, Doug's got the skinny on the blue tarp, so there's a big, huge plaza
There is
going
a
up,
big,
and
huge
all the
plaza
area
coming up.
businesses are partnering with them.
I was gonna-
But yeah, I
Tim
got-
took his fence.
Tried to just buy cupcakes so I could get a little wider, and I got old school.
I don't think we really know what we're doing with it yet, Jeremy.
Okay. Tim asked me if he could get the equipment out of there.
Yeah.
Obviously, seeing took the fence down.
Doesn't he seed it?
Should have been a contract.
Yeah, I would think that was part of the demolition was he seeds it.
He talked to me like there was nothing in the contract about seeding it.
Oh.
I don't know that, so.
That was a continuation. We did the plans for these demolitions over here, and I think that was just a continuation of that with you guys,
So
the city and them.
we would need to seed it ourselves.
Probably. I don't
We
know
can
the
I mean,
agreement.
we have,
That's a good job for Superintendent Derry with the
Yeah.
little seed thing.
yeah. Anything else, sir?
By
That's
hand,
all I have right now.
by hand.
By hand, there we go.
I can do that.
So I have to apologize. I think I left Jeremy off of my appointments, and that was inadvertent, and I apologize. I need to include Jeremy Derry as the superintendent, for the city of Abington as an appointment. So I need to do another vote on that.
Yeah, I would think this is your recommendation, Superintendent of Public Works, and just call, unless there's discussion, you can just call the roll, start.
Alderman Brooks,
Aye.
Alderman Thompson,
Aye.
Alderman Garrison,
Aye.
Alderman Allen,
Aye.
Alderman Dowd,
Aye.
Alderman Swearingen,
Aye.
Alderman Thompson.
Aye.
I apologize. I got a whole bunch of notes here and left you off.
It's all good.
That's fine.
Sorry about that. Okay, moving on. That concludes the superintendent's report. Moving now to old business. Number one is Dr. Livingston, landfill.
I have nothing to add to that at the moment. I'll pass that on to Heather once I get more information.
Okay, thank you for that. Item number two is employee time clock. Alderman Hendricks is not here. We'll table that for her for next time. Number three is the Ameren agreement. Jack?
It shows that that's my, I'm to report on that, but I think where I left it was I had given you a copy of the proposed contract, some kind of summary as to what the differences were from the contract that was done in 2001 and what they're proposing now. And remember that it runs out in September, and the issue I left with the council and also with the treasurer, unfortunately, was I didn't know how much money you took in under the prior contract because it was referenced as a percentage of an expenditures. And the new contract just has set figures over a period of, I think, 1 to 3 years, and then 3 to 5, and then after that period of time. And it's a set dollar amount, not based on expenditures. So I left that up for the council in conjunction with maybe the treasurer getting you some financial information for you to make that comparison. But the truth of the matter is your contract's going to expire.
They're the only game in town.
Yep.
Yeah, I was going to just ask if there was any point in maybe trying to negotiate with these guys, or they may just say no negotiating. But they need a contract signed. Is that correct, or they don't? Do we have to sign it?
If you don't sign one, then it's going to expire.
And then we don't get any money.
Correct.
So,
Under their proposal, you're getting paid, again, the numbers change over the period of time.
right, but it's a fixed amount and
But it's a fixed amount. Once it gets to one period, then it continues on for the balance of the 20 years.
Just to add something to that, started a spreadsheet to show us the history of payments. And it looks like it's pretty close to the new contracts for the first few years. And after the 5-year point, we can negotiate it for population changes. So
we just go ahead and make a motion and get it off the agenda.
Yep.
Then I make a motion, we accept the Ameren agreement.
I second.
Motion has been made and seconded to accept the Ameren agreement. Roll call, please.
Alderman Brooks.
Aye.
Alderman Thompson.
Aye.
Alderman Hairston.
Aye.
Alderman Allen.
Aye.
Alderman Bell.
Aye.
Alderman Brandon.
Aye.
Alderman Thompson.
Thank you for that. We will move now to number 5, Middle Diamond Lights, Legion Park.
We're gonna table that. I'm still going to get some quotes from a couple other business.
Table that.
Thank you.
I had given Alderman Hendricks the information, that is the, state recommendation. If you have 51 or more employees, she was gonna look into it and see if it was something that we wanted to add to the personnel
Okay.
policy.
We'll bring that back next time for further consideration.
Can I add something here? On that, can we make sure that instead of just saying the honor guard volunteer service, can we make sure to include for like the EMS services?
Yeah, we had
Fire
planned on that. The,
Fire and
we wanted to make sure that we were very, specific in honor guard, EMS, fire, and we would also put like emergency response.
Yeah.
So,
thank you.
Perfect. Moving on now to scoreboard at the Middle Diamond.
Thank you, sir. So last meeting I discussed with everybody, the Middle Diamond scoreboard. It's kind of wonky. It's a wireless scoreboard. The transmitter they put on the south side of the pole, so we need to relocate that and the wiring in the junction box. So I did have 2 bids. Amp was 900, and that's just to relocate the receiver for the scoreboard and to put the new arm and receiver on. And then I have one for A&W Electric. He is 1,190, and his, in my eyes, is more detailed, where he's going to do the surge protectors, install the conduit for existing junction box. I mean, if anybody wants to see this, they can look at it. I passed it around last time. That's that one. And that is there. I know Mr. Winsky is in.
Aaron, bigger print, please.
Can I get the bigger you want?
18-point font, I'm blind.
So if there's any question,
Borrow these?
Yeah, I might need them.
This is budgeted. Okay. You make a motion? Well, we're still considering.
I mean, yeah, Aaron's gonna do more than just.
yes, that's kind of was
Move.
mine, but I wanted everybody's opinion.
And it's
As we know, I get the cart in front of the horse all the time.
only,
Or the horse.
Only done 2.
yeah.
I make them, go ahead, Tiff.
I'll make the motion. We go with AW.
I'll second.
As long as he uses bigger print next time.
Yeah, as long as you put bigger print for the amount of $11.90 and
68 cents.
68 cents.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve the bid proposal from A&W Electric not to exceed $1,200. Roll call, please.
Alderman Brooks.
Aye.
Alderman Thompson.
Aye.
Alderman Harrison.
Aye.
Alderman Allen.
Aye.
Alderman Dow.
Aye.
Alderman Surratt.
Aye.
Alderman Thompson.
Thank you for that. Moving now to number 8, back to Neil, water structure inspections.
Thank you.
Did you
I
used
did
to
remember.
Did you used to use like a scuba thing, like go down in there and look in there? How did you used to do it?
Emptied it. I wore a GoPro.
Emptied it. Okay.
Yeah. One more thing that I forgot to add is this isn't a price that's just for you guys. We went and sought bids. We got 15 different tanks that they're coming down here to inspect in one swoop. So we got a better price Normally it would be, I don't know how much higher, but it would be higher than that. Just want to let you know that it wasn't just a grabbing a random number out of the air thing. Matter of fact, they were here today inspecting some tanks.
So you need a motion.
Yeah,
I'll make a motion that we accept,
that's James Orr.
James Orr, Coding Inspection LLC to do the job for us at $6,000.
I second.
Motion has been made and seconded to accept the bid from Orr not to exceed $6,000 for our water structure inspections. Roll call, please.
Alderman Brooks.
Aye.
Alderman Thompson.
Aye.
Alderman Jerista.
Aye.
Alderman Allen.
Aye.
Alderman Bell.
Aye.
Alderman Swearingen.
Aye.
Alderman Thompson.
Aye.
Thank you for that. Like you said, it's every 5 years and it's pretty important. So,
We need to do these two tonight.
next is number 9, yard waste dump.
All right. So I have a question. Is the camera out there running? Is it picking up license plates? Because it's supposed to, because it's supposed to look at license plates, and I forgot how far back the cloud goes. So here's since they are set in motion in quote unquote ordinances, are we allowed to pull their tags, run their plates, and serve them with ordinance tickets?
If they're violating an ordinance, then you can serve them an ordinance ticket. What do you mean?
Well, so we have made it blatantly clear on the Facebook page, on the board that's out to the yard waste dump, that there are to be no bags out there. And we've got people who are continually dropping off their waste in garbage bags and leaving the garbage bags. I talked to Bryson yesterday. He sent me a text message, and I was grocery shopping, but he said, what are the chances I can get you to have people stop putting black garbage bags out there or empty their garbage bags when they get out there? He said, I think they were out there yesterday cleaning up. He said there's about a half a load left, but they were mentioning the last couple of times that there have been black garbage bags out there. We have been up front and we have been completely forward with people. We have this camera out here to make sure that the rules are being abided by. And I didn't know if we could start issuing tickets.
You can't issue a ticket unless there's an ordinance that says they can't put black bags out there. I guess I'm not aware of one. But you would have to have an ordinance in place if you're going to issue a ticket.
I mean, because at this point,
posting rules isn't going to be good enough.
So I don't know. What can we do?
We need to get an ordinance, so we need
Either
to
that or, an ordinance, or you can identify, if you can identify who it is, then you can ban them from using it.
Okay.
Council can take action to ban it from
All
using
right.
it.
Can we put something up on the Facebook page that we are able to find out those of you who are not following the rules? We're able to run your tags, and will happily ban you from the yard waste dump.
It's a good first step.
Because I really don't want to clean it up. I know that it's that time of year. Terry has brought it to my attention that he's coming once a month, and it's $15 or $1,500 a load. And there was 3 loads this month. They'll probably be the same next month.
I say we also look into an ordinance, ban them and fine them.
But
So who would review the footage?
I would say whoever, because where's the mainframe? Is it in your office? Yeah,
By the ordinance officer?
the ordinance officer, yeah. And then I'm sure she can call into dispatch and get them to run the tags. So,
We're on the same page with that. Everybody okay with that? And we'll get
Can we
some-
make a motion to have Jack create an ordinance for that, or to add it to like our nuisance or something ordinance that we already have.
Cause I
in
don't
place.
know if we have like a whole ordinance about the yard waste stuff
We don't.
altogether.
We've got something about yard waste, but I'll take a look at what we have and see if I
Okay.
can come up with some kind of a draft.
Yeah.
You don't need a motion or anything, you just have me do
Right,
that.
and
I'll
then-
try to circulate that around and see.
Okay, and then maybe tomorrow have it up on Facebook too. that, once again, no garbage bags, follow the rules,
We're trying our best to keep it open.
but, and then, what's the situation on getting things cleared up for the fence? How are we along that?
Tim has talked to me about that as well, about offering to help us do that. So I'm kind of in discussion with him. He's
Okay.
moving a lot faster than I can.
Okay, yeah, because I also told Bryson too that we're working on getting the fence up, and it'll be like a locked timed gate, but if they're in there and the gate gets shut, they'll be able to get out. So
I do know that House is ready to install the fence. They're just waiting on us to
right,
get the dirt moved.
so
Trying our best to keep it open. I mean, here we go again, kind of a thing. So, yeah, you can use the recyclable bags, the paper bags. You
Right.
buy those, but you just can't use plastic bags. Okay, any further on the yard waste dump
nope,
site?
that's all I have.
Okay, perfect. Number 10 is lights at the park.
So I think it was Sunday evening, I received a call from a couple of different people about the Big Diamond. There's like 10 lights. So I do have a couple phone calls out to trying to see if we can reach them. My only problem, it comes into effect, is they have a double header before our next meeting. So I didn't know if I was allowed, if we get a quote from a couple businesses on changing the bulbs and balances, and knock on wood, that's all the problem. Am I allowed to like email everybody before the next meeting to do like a straw poll, if it's okay to go through with this, or how would that work, Jack?
Well, I don't think we want to do it like that. The council can make a motion to authorize the mayor to approve the expenditure. Otherwise, it comes back to the council. But that way, at least you have a chance, Jason, to take a look at it, and you would have an idea as to whether it's a reasonable expenditure given the necessity.
I'll make that motion to give the mayor the authority one way or another to replace the lights to the Big Diamond.
Second.
Okay, motion has been made and seconded to,
Is this for the high school?
yeah, this is
For the
Big
Big
Diamond,
Diamond.
Okay, I mean,
to possibly approve
Talk to me, Goose.
the bid once received for the Big Diamond
One
lights.
guy that has it will do it.
commercial rental in Macomb has lists.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
I
Those are opposed.
see Will Zimmerman has it.
Okay.
So they're hoping maybe he would do
Moving
it.
now to committee reports.
New business, right?
Finance, admin, personnel. Ellen is, I'm sorry.
Are we gonna do new business?
New business.
What was I doing here?
I was just saying if we were paying attention.
Yeah, good job, guys. You caught me. Sorry. Yes, new business, of course.
School rep.
Curtin at the grade school. Ed?
The mayor touched on quite a bit of information in his opening remarks, but there was a complaint filed through the school resource officer about the curtain. And the school board is talking about that tonight. So we might want to, I wanted it on new business to see what they come up with. But as a aging man, I went down there to that intersection, Monmouth and 41, and I had to creep out quite a distance to see southbound traffic going north. So at a minimum, that corner is a visual issue. Just something for us to think about, maybe go down there and take a look yourself between now and the next meeting or before the school board makes some type of determination.
But it does look really nice though.
It does.
I
And-
thought they were doing it just because it looked really nice. I didn't realize. I get the I get the creepers with the children. I'm all about
It's a
saving the
nice
children,
feature,
but
but there is a bit of a visibility issue looking south.
That's ridiculous.
We,
IDOT has rules that govern that, intersection sight distance.
yeah, and I looked at the zoning, and I don't want to open up a can of worms, but I don't know if they got a variance when they put that fence in. But I'll just leave it at that, and then, but I was kind of thinking that too, that's really a state issue as well, because it's real close to their property, and that's their intersection. So if,
Well, even the school buses.
Yeah.
are pulling out.
So we'll bring that back if we have more information for the next time. Okay with that? All right, number 2 is time cards. Joe?
Jack, are we supposed to vote on this?
I thought you had already passed it,
Or are
but
we
maybe
already
not.
past it?
But I'm not, but in further review, I'm not sure you did pass it. So I sent that out to everybody. So you would know what I had drafted as language that the way I understood the discussion, that's what I was to put in the, how I was to modify those personnel rules. So you probably should vote on it tonight if you want to take it up.
said it was passed. We got the same resolution.
Well, I thought it was passed, but then I thought I had some discussion, maybe we discussed it in an email and then it wasn't actually,
It wasn't actually voted.
yeah, it wasn't actually voted on, even though I was instructed to draft it.
Well, if you're okay with this,
So you
talked to Ellen just a little bit earlier today. She said she was under the impression that we hadn't voted on it either. In her absence, if it pleases the council, maybe we can table this.
wait, yeah.
Before we take any action.
Well, especially since she.
Yeah, I would really like to see Ellen have her say.
I do think it should go to a full
Yes,
council.
and I- yeah,
question section, showing section, the line, and then cards, and then the section about the supervisors reviewing.
I thought it read well.
Was there some?
if there's any more issues, if you're okay, maybe we,
And I want to bring up again, for the third time, that the employees are not getting their time and a half on weekends for checks. They're getting straight time.
I thought we addressed that a couple of meetings
did.
ago.
But it's still,
Can I say something to that?
it doesn't matter the regular work hours that they have. When they do weekend checks, they get time and a half.
Right.
If they get called out of their house to go do, to mark water lines or whatever, they get an hour at least.
we did.
And they're
I know.
still not doing it.
So to comment on that, in the current policy that we have right now, when they're using sick time in the
No,
policy,
no,
I'm
no.
just saying, the way the policy reads right now, if they're using sick time, that's why they were not getting paid the time
No.
and a half.
Well,
That is a
that's
total
ours.
separate thing.
This should clear that up. The way it reads, the employee will receive a minimum of 1 hour or his or her actual time, whichever is greater, for all after hours for any call out during or occurring on a Monday through Friday. And the employee will receive a minimum of 2.5 hours or his or her actual salary, whichever is greater, for all call outs occurring on Saturday or Sunday. Payment to the employee for any call out shall be at the employee's overtime rate of time. Not sure what's happening, but if this gets passed, that should resolve it. Does that resolve it for you, Chuck?
Yeah, but we need to go back and pay them because it started way back before Easter.
I mean, we had one that had 40 and a half hours straight time this week and did rounds and their overtime was messed up.
Yeah.
So there's
There's more
somewhere,
than one that is happening too.
there's a breakdown.
Well, this
Somewhere.
hasn't been passed yet. So
Right,
whatever
right. No, I
was
understand that.
previously is still in place.
Yeah, but this 40 and a half hours straight time, there's a half hour overtime on there. No sick time, straight time, 40 hours straight time, half hour.
did rounds. There's the
I
weekend
think we're talking
overtime.
about two different things
Yeah.
here. First
But-
of all, Chuck is talking about the time cards.
Right.
We're talking about incorrect pay.
Well, yeah, and what I'm
So-
saying is I think somewhere there's a breakdown in communication between the time cards and I don't know where the shuffle is. I haven't seen the time cards.
Jeremy comes in here every Monday morning,
Right.
runs the time cards, we go through them, he explains why they say what they say, and that's how we're paying them.
Right.
And
So
we were told that if they don't physically show up and go to work for 40 hours, they do not get overtime pay. That's the way it was explained to us, and that's how we were supposed to do it, so that's what we're doing.
The weekend checks and the call outs are totally different.
And that it will help improve that process when they start punching in and out when they show up to do those too. Because right now, when you look at their time cards, you don't know who did rounds unless somebody handwrites it. If they would come in when they're picking up the truck and punch in and then punch out, no matter how long they're out there, they will still get paid their 2.5
Correct.
each time they do that. But they've got to be punching in and out so we know who's doing it.
Okay. We're going to bring this back. The other discussion, I'm sure, before that. So if everybody's okay with that, we'll figure out a couple of things here and bring it back next time. You okay with that, Chuck?
Yep.
Okay. That concludes new business. We will move now to the committee reports. Ellen is not here. Does anybody have anything they want to say in her absence for that committee? I'm sure that was pretty smarty, whatever he said. I didn't hear.
Yeah, you don't want to know, Mayor.
He said you're
Oh, boy.
pretty and your hair looks nice.
Yeah, well, thank you. Thank you. Worked on it all day. Next, we'll go to water EPC. Terry?
Just, we do have a couple of bids here. John I just saw these, so I'd like to look them over and I'll bring these back for the next meeting. This is on installing the gearbox that we have out at the
All right.
EPC plant. I was surprised there was a significant difference in the two bids. Just as a heads up, so you know what we're looking at. We have one bid from Advanced Plumbing that's $6,325. We have one from GA Rich and Sons for $17,866.
Oh. Wow.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would look a little
How come our
closer
guys
at
ain't doing it?
This part is beyond what they can handle. They
They're not a
don't,
gearbox?
this is a big gearbox. But yeah, I believe the weight and
We got some
everything.
big boys.
No, this is not a manual labor job to do. It'd be a machine drop.
Gotta have a crane to put the rotor in the
Yeah.
ditch.
You put the gearbox on, and you still got to pick the gearbox and the rotor and the whole assembly up and set it in place.
I'll
I
do
know,
it for
okay.
5.
I know a crane operator. Goes by the new code.
That's my quote.
He'll do it for
Anything else,
5.
No, that's all I've
Any
got.
questions for Terry? Okay, Parks? Doug?
Thank you, Mayor. Well, Memorial Day is coming around the corner, so the splash pad will be getting ready to be open. AMP is coming next week to get it fired up, make sure there's no leaks, no problems. Everything's running good. And then once that's going, I'll probably have the guys at the parks do a little disinfecting, scrubbing down to get it ready to go. I would like to maybe get with Star one of these days to see if we can't get like on a rotation just to keep AMP, because it's going to be one of those things where AMP's going to have to open and close it every year. So see some kind of maybe contract with them, what it would cost us. I do have that budgeted for contracted service. So other than that, I'm going to sit down, try to get a parks meeting sometime coming up.
I'm busy lining all diamonds.
We can have the meeting at the vault.
Okay, that's probably where it needs to be anyway.
Any questions for
That
Doug?
is it. Thanks, sir.
Thank you, Doug. Next, we'll move to the police. Ed?
Honorable Mayor, fellow council members, we have a spreadsheet from Ms. Robinson from July last year up until April this year. 2025, very successful. and she's got a good start on 2026. She's doing a good job. That's all I've got.
She's doing a fantastic job. She loves her job. Takes it pretty serious. I get at least a call every other day. And she wanted me to remind the council and the office that she has no problem with anybody who has any issues or questions to give them her phone number. That's how she prefers to do her business. So, but the spreadsheet looks good, and if we can get 50% compliance, we're killing it. All right, any questions for Ed? Cemetery, Tiffany?
Have you talked to John Haynes?
Yes, he's on, finishing up a job, and he said he was good on that, and not needing anything up front. So,
Okay, so then here's my question. Do we, and I've got to email patients, but should we just pay John and then get the money, get their half from them? So it gets done? How do we do this
Well, I
legally?
think that's the way it was phrased
Okay.
before, is that
I wanted to
they
make
would
sure,
pay, but you'd be advancing.
yeah, and then we just bill her for their half. Okay, my next order of business, I was approached by a citizen, messaged me today, and the flower garden with the angel statue in the Catholic section of the cemetery behind the office was wanting to know if she could, who took care of it. And I said, well, it's the cemetery, but I know at one point in time, Terry Stiegel and his wife would take care of the flowers and all of that stuff. And I said, they haven't in the last couple of years. And she was wanting to know if she could take care of where the flower bed needs. Knock yourself out. I told her I do know that whatever came out of pocket from Terry and Shar, we reimbursed them, didn't we?
I think they did it themselves.
Did they do it themselves? Okay. So when she said that she's not, yeah, and she said she wasn't looking for reimbursement, but she just wanted to know if she could take care of it. So
She's going to coordinate with
I told her to talk with Slick.
Flip.
Mm-hmm. So if you see, it's Shauna Brubaker. So if you see Shauna out there playing in the weeds, that's why she's playing in the weeds.
Any questions for Tiffany? Thank you for that. Next, economic development, Terry.
I have nothing to report.
Okay. Now we get to the visitors. We have Colby Trone, Abingdon Avon FFA. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and all of you for having us here today. This is my Ag Issues team. So part of the Illinois State FFA contest is they have to conduct so many forums. So they spend time picking a topic, they write a skit about the topic, and then they perform so many forums, and then they get to go to state and compete there. So they have prepared a skit for you guys today. It's about 14-ish minutes, but they have put in a lot of work, so I hope you enjoy it.
I should have brought some popcorn. I didn't realize we were getting into a presentation.
We just left you hanging, didn't
Good morning, I'm Colin Jennings, and welcome back to Abingdon Avon Advocates, where we break down the issues that matter most to our community and future. Today's issue is bigger, better, examining the pros and cons of meatpacking consolidation. Now, this issue has gained a lot of attention in recent years, and for good reason. According to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, the meatpacking industry has become highly concentrated, meaning just a small number of companies process the majority of meat in the United States. This didn't just happen overnight. It's the result of decades of technological advancement, economic pressure, and industry consolidation. But while this system improves efficiency, it also raises concerns about rural agricultural operations. Today, we're going to explore both sides of this issue in depth. Let's start with the individuals here on my right who support this issue.
Thank you, James. Hello, everyone. My name is Wesley Batista Filo. From my perspective as CEO of JBS Foods, large-scale processing facilities are about more than size. They're about responsibility. Companies like ours are about responsibility. Part of a system where just 4 major processors handle 85% of the nation's beef, and JBS alone accounts for roughly 25% of U.S. beef packaging, meaning we play a major role in helping feed America.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you again, Colin, for inviting me. I'm Brooke Rollins, Secretary of the United States Department of Agriculture. From USDA perspective, it is our goal to keep America's food system stable, reliable, and resilient. Feeding over 330 million people requires processing facilities that can operate at scale while maintaining strict safety and consistency standards. Efforts supported by the White House focus on modernizing and strengthening processing infrastructure. Larger facilities can respond quickly to seasonal demand, export needs, or unexpected disruptions, while also investing in technology and food safety systems that smaller plants often can't afford. In practice, this helps stabilize supply chains, prevent shortages, and ensure Americans have access to safe, affordable meat every day.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Mitchell. Between driving my son Ethan to soccer and picking up my daughter Lily from dance, I work hard to keep our week and our meals on track. During COVID-19, I stopped at the store after practice expecting to grab meat for the week, but shelves were nearly empty. Prices were higher, options were limited, and the stress of need a food system that I can trust, consistent, safe, and affordable, so I can care for my family without constant worry. That's why efficient processing systems matter so much to families like mine.
Now let's turn the spotlight to the other side of the debate. Our guests on the left who see this issue a little differently.
Thank you, Colin, for having me. I'm Marcia Wyatt, a city representative from Moments, and for us, this isn't theoretical. When the Johnsonville plant shut down, 270 people lost their jobs almost overnight. Families were scrambling to pay bills, local businesses started hurting, and the whole town felt it. So when we talk about efficiency, I ask, efficient for who? Because for towns like Moments, the human cost is real and it's high.
Hi, I'm Blakely Hayes, an Angus beef producer from rural Illinois. Fewer larger processing plants means less competition, and that often forces me to accept lower prices for my cattle. The farmer's share of beef price has dropped by 14% over the last 5 years, despite the fact that the price of beef in the supermarkets has increased. This consolidation is driving farmers out of business and off their land. The U.S. lost almost 110 beef operations and about 15% between 2017 and 2022, according to the United States Department of Agriculture census.
Hi, I'm Casey Walker, and I work on the line at a meatpacking plant. Every day, I see how the drive for efficiency stretches far beyond machines. It affects real people. The pace is relentless, and while my coworkers and I try to keep up, the stress and physical strain are constant. Across the industry, companies like JBS rank among those with some of the highest numbers of severe worker injuries, even with relatively smaller workforces. It's not just about the work. It's about knowing that our health and safety are on the line every shift. Efficiency might keep the shelf stocked, but it can't ignore the people who make it possible.
Thank you for all those introductions. It's great to hear your perspectives as each of you brings an important piece to the story. Now, let's dig into why some experts and policymakers support larger, more centralized meat processing facilities and what they see as the potential benefits for our food system.
Two benefits of these fewer large meat facilities are enhanced oversight and supply chain resilience. Larger plants allow the USDA to focus inspections more effectively, applying consistent safety standards and catching potential issues faster. Research from the Government Accountability Office show concentrated facilities make oversight more efficient, which is critical for public health. At the same time, centralized operations can better absorb disruptions. Whether it's extreme weather, livestock disease, or sudden spikes in demand, Large facilities can adjust distribution and logistics faster than multiple smaller plants, helping keep meat available nationwide and stabilizing the supply chain.
Global competitiveness and advanced technology are two benefits JBS and the rest of the Big Four can't afford to ignore. Large-scale operations let us meet domestic demand and export commitments efficiently. With the biggest plants handling most of the US's beef, pork, and poultry keeping meat competitive worldwide. At the same time, these facilities allow 4 major reinvestments into innovation. JBS USA, for example, has committed $200 million to upgrade at its Cactus, Texas, Greeley, Colorado beef production facilities, including a state-of-the-art fabrication floor, expanded ground beef operations, and a new distribution center. Investments like these enable cutting-edge technology, automation technology, real-time tracking, and advanced sanitation that doesn't just boost efficiency but strengthens food safety, traceability, and consistent high-quality products. 4 major meat packers, scale, and technology aren't just advantages. They're essential to staying reliable and competitive in today's market. Smaller scale meat plants simply don't have the resources to match this level of investment or reach.
A benefit that's been on my mind is having confidence in what's on the grocery store shelves. But I also remember when that confidence was shaken during the COVID-19 pandemic. When major plants slowed or shut down, it exposed real vulnerabilities in the system, from worker safety to supply disruptions. Companies in the Big Four have since taken steps to address these failures, investing in stronger safety protocols, diversifying operations, and improving supply chain resilience to help prevent those breakdowns from happening again. Now, it's not just about avoiding empty aisles. It's knowing the meals I plan for my kids will actually happen without last-minute panic. Help keep supplies steady and prices more predictable so families can plan, budget, and actually enjoy dinner together instead of stressing over who's available that night. For parents like me, that consistency matters.
All right, we've heard the case for the consolidation of meat processing facilities, lower costs, steady supply, global competitiveness. It all sounds great on paper. But the story isn't that simple. Behind those numbers are people, families, and communities feeling the impact. Now it's time to dig into the costs of consolidation, the challenges facing ranchers, small towns, and the workers on the plant floor.
Reduced competition hits farmers and ranchers hard. As Congressman Chris Deluzzo has pointed out, consolidation gives a few big companies too much control. USDA data shows just a handful of companies now buy most of the livestock in the U.S., meaning we often have to accept lower prices because there aren't an alternative buyer nearby. While beef prices at the grocery store have climbed, ranchers now receive less than 30 cents of every retail beef dollar, a historical low, even as packer profits have risen. Logistical headaches and animal stress are another negative aspect that should not be ignored. With fewer plants, livestock often have to travel long distances, and federal rules limit transport without time off the trailer to 28 hours. Racing against the clock is exhausting, adds cost, and can even impact the health of animals, which affects meat quality and taste, ultimately impacting the bottom line for agriculturalists like me.
When meatpacking plants close, the impact isn't just local jobs lost, it ripples across entire regions. In Nebraska, the closure of a major Tyson Foods facility is estimated to generate about $3 billion in annual statewide economic losses. It is also projected to eliminate roughly 7,000 jobs, including 3,200 direct plant positions, with total labor income losses reaching about $530 million per year across surrounding communities. Communities also see lower tax revenue. State personal income tax losses are estimated at $23 million annually. State sales tax revenue is projected to fall by $10 million, and local sales tax revenue in Dawson County alone is expected to drop by about $2.7 million each year. Closures and consolidations mean families are forced to relocate, schools lose students, small towns lose vitality, and the social fabric that holds communities together begins to fray. The economic harm to our communities and the loss of local stability and identity aren't just numbers on a report, they're our neighbors and our friends, the heart of rural communities themselves.
Worker safety and job security are negative impacts of consolidation of meatpacking facilities. Large meatpacking facilities are built for speed and efficiency, but that pressure hits workers hardest. Industry data shows meatpacking workers face injury rates 3 times the national average, with exceptionally high numbers of amputations, lacerations, and repetitive trauma disorders. In poultry plants, 81% of evaluated workers were found to be at high risk of developing musculoskeletal disorders. Companies like Tyson Foods, JBS, Cargill, and National Beef continue to report some of the highest numbers of severe injuries in the industry despite relatively smaller workforces, underscoring how dangerous these conditions remain. Employees face long hours, repetitive motion injuries, and high stress. During the COVID-19 pandemic, crowded conditions made illness risk impossible to ignore. On top of that, job insecurity is a constant concern. Many workers are on temporary contracts, some are immigrants at risk of deportation, and turnover rates, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, is at an all-time high of 36%. These labor challenges mean that while efficiency drives the industry, it often comes at the expense of the very people who make our food possible.
Today, we've explored both sides of the debate over fewer, larger meat processing facilities. On one hand, these plants bring significant benefits. They drive efficiency by handling massive volumes of livestock, help keep meat affordable and available across the country, and allow companies to invest in advanced technologies like automation, tracking system, and enhanced food safety protocols. For the USDA, concentrated operations make inspections and regulatory oversight more focused and consistent, helping catch potential problems before they reach the consumers. And for families like Jennifer's, that scale translates into predictability, steady shelves, On the other hand, consolidation comes with very real costs. Ranchers like Blakely face less competition, which means reduced bargaining power and tighter margins. Communities like Moments see economic ripple effects when plants close, such as lost jobs, declining local business revenue, lower income tax. For workers like Casey, the push for speed and efficiency can lead to injury and persistent job insecurity. Even as the system feeds millions efficiently, it's clear that the human health, local economies, and community stability bear the weight of these operational decisions. So we've heard the benefits, efficiency, scale, and predictability versus the challenges, reduced competition, community strain, and worker risk. Now let's hear each of our voices in one final powerful thought.
Scale technology allows us to feed millions safely and keep U.S. meat competitive nationwide.
Fewer buyers mean farmers like me often have no choice but to accept lower prices, putting our livelihoods at risk.
Large facilities help us maintain oversight, stabilize supply chains, and ensure Americans have reliable access to safe, affordable meat.
Plant closures ripple through towns, causing economic harm and eroding the local stability and identity that communities rely on.
For families like mine, predictability isn't just convenience. It's peace of mind at the dinner table.
Efficiency shouldn't come at the expense of workers' health or job security. We're the ones keeping the system running every day.
As you can see, this issue isn't simple. There's no single answer, only perspectives that help us understand the full picture. That's what makes conversations like this so important. Thanks for listening to AAA, where we dig into the real stories behind the numbers in American agriculture. Be sure to leave a comment below letting us know your thoughts on the issue. As always, don't forget to drop the gavel on the like button. AAA out.
Excellent.
Thank you guys so much for your time.
Very good.
Thank you.
Good luck. Huh? Oh, is that my cue? I make
You were talking about that young man has the best head of hair I've seen in a long time.
Don't tell him that.
Nice job, lady.
I make a motion, we adjourn this meeting and go home.
I second.
Motion is made second to adjourn the meeting. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you for coming.
Gary, did Chris give you the measurements on that line?
Well,
Did he?